All right, guys, part three of the resource list. And this part focuses on treatment facilities that have programs, most specifically for substance use disorder or addiction issues. And the thing about this list is these programs are exclusively for folks in the military, veteran, and first responder community. So these are programs where you're not mixed with the civilian population, and it's just your brothers and sisters from those groups. And it's a list of over 30 facilities across the country that I've come up with. And it's a list of places that have detox, of inpatient, outpatient, PHP, IOP, and even a handful of sober living facilities. There are a handful of facilities in there that are it's mostly mental health or trauma based as opposed to substance use, but most of which are in there are actually dual diagnosis facilities. But so here's the thing: you come to a point where you think you might have a problem. You have a problem. You know you have a problem. You're considering help, or you're ready to make the step. But where do you go? There's places all over the country. In Central Virginia, where I'm at, there's a ton of facilities. But this is what I knew for myself. When I got to a point where I knew I needed some help and I was ready to make some changes, for me, one of the more important pieces was going to be the people that I was with in the program. And I knew for myself that I was going to be more successful if I was with other first responders or military folks, people who had similar experiences, and could understand where I was coming from and understand the things that I had been through. And I knew that was going to be more helpful for my process. Just being in with the civilian population, not saying it wouldn't have been successful, but being with business folks, accountants, lawyers, teachers, wasn't going to be the same as being with my brothers and sisters from the same community. And then the other thing, especially for first responders, us, and especially for the law enforcement and correction folks, the people that you've dealt with in the community, especially if you're going to a local facility or a local program, the chance that you might be encountering folks that you've dealt with in the community, people you've locked up, people you've arrested, victims of crime, people you've interacted with for whatever host of reasons in the community, people you've had to take to jail, people you've had to fight, people you've dealt with in jail, whatever the case is. Being in a group with those folks or their families is going to be less than helpful. I know it would be for myself. So I went on a search for programs that were just for military veterans and first responders. And what I found at the time was two. I found one inpatient and one outpatient IOP program. That was all I found. And I knew there had to be more. It's a huge country. We've got lots of programs everywhere. I knew there had to be more. So I went out recently and on a search trying to find those, and I've come up with this list of over 30 facilities across the country. And the thing is, many of the programs, especially the outpatient, the IOP, PHP programs, many of them are virtual. So you can attend from anywhere in the country, as long as the insurance is covering it. But, like I said, if you're in a place where you're looking to consider making a change and looking for some options, this list is a great place to start because you would be with your brothers and sisters working on it. So if you think you could use this list, please email me. My email's on the screen. If you know somebody who you think can use this list, please let me know and share it freely. And if you have any ideas of other places to add to the list, please send them to me. But I hope you find the list helpful and useful for yourself or somebody you know.